Hey marketing leader, today I'd like to focus on a really big question you might be asking yourself. Do I really need a new website? Or maybe you're not asking that question yourself when you actually should. Most sales calls that I'm having with potential clients, they are already predefined in a sense that when they come to us, they already know they want a new website. But I tend to shake that tree a little and see what falls down. Because it might be a situation where it's actually better to improve what you already have. And that's why we often talk about reiterating websites and improving continually on daily, weekly, monthly basis, as often as you can really. Because the value might not be in building something new, but building on top of what we have. So today I would like to shake that tree a little with you, give you my perspective on building a new website and actually getting you to answer the question, do you really need a new website? The first thing to consider is, why are you looking into getting a new website in place? What is the reason? Another way of saying this is, a problem well defined is a problem half solved. So if you don't define the problem that you're trying to solve with the potentially new website, you might be just looking at the wrong thing. If your existing website is underperforming in conversion, it's maybe just the story that you're telling on the website that's incorrect, that's not inspiring. It's highly likely that you would just tell the same story on the new website, just in an environment of, I guess, new colors and new sections and just aesthetic layer that'd be different, but the story be the same. And we all know that story is what engages the users. Take a look, what is the problem that you try to solve? Try to diagnose it, dig a bit deeper. It's a great team collaborative exercise. Gather around the table, have a look, play around with ideas and see what you end up with. One nugget that I have for you is that big brands, they don't release websites every year, every other year. Take a look at big retailers, Amazon, Google, John Lewis, Marks and Spencer's, and many other brands, Dropbox. They don't replace their website. They just change them in fragments, in iterations. They improve a bit of navigation, a bit of heading. They test the different call to action. So they just work with them as a tool. They don't just scrap it and build a new one, because really. A perspective that is worth keeping in mind is that maybe it's not the website that is at fault. This is often the case. Companies are just not ready to invest in the website yet. I agree, everyone needs a website. Perfect, that's the age that we live in. Fantastic. But that website is an outcome of many discussions, agreements before we even think about the website. That just sit well above the website level. Branding, that is the marketing campaigns, that is business model, pricing model, customer experience, the way we want to handle that. I mean, website is just the hub that handles everything around it. Everything comes down to a website. So if you don't get those external elements right, or at least defined in some shape or form, website will suffer and it will not solve the problem, at least on the level that you had hoped for. Keep that in mind too, and have a look, what's your business ecosystem like? Maybe it could use some improvement before you actually get down to fixing your website. Another argument for leaving existing website in place, and this is something I mentioned around big brands not replacing their website but improving them, is what you have is the mine of knowledge of user behavior, user journey, traffic sources, U-turns, rage clicks. Like, there's so much data that you can dig out of your existing website that you can use to either fix what you have in front of you or infuse the next project. It would be almost a shame to just ignore it, scrap it and start again. You have to have some kind of data entry points, data overall, to base your decisions off of. Don't forget about it. Take a look at your existing website. Maybe hold back building a new one for another 2 to 3 months, but then go ahead right now, install all the tools such as video session recording, traffic monitoring, any kind of pulse surveys to gather feedback. Take it all on board, make the sense out of it, and then commit to building a new website, because then at least you're minimizing the risk of anything going wrong and wasting that precious budget of yours. Now let's for a second change the side of the fence that we are on. Let's say that you've done all of it and you still think that you need a new website. Great, at least now you have reason to think that. You can prove that this is a righteous and valid decision as an investment. But let me help you out a bit and add another weapon to your armory. If you want to convince someone, or even maybe yourself, that you need a new website, there are other points that are good to consider. First of all, if your existing website is based on old, unsupported technology that creates a huge technical debt and causes maintainability friction, then it's probably a time to replace the website, because technical debt kills companies. It's simple as that. It's black and white. If you accumulate enough technical debt, any change you will want to introduce to your website will get more and more expensive, more and more complex, and eventually nothing will make sense from the investment point of view to change, because it will become that bad. If your website is based on a programming language that's no longer in use, or it's something that's been deprecated a really long time ago, you might struggle to find someone to help you out. It might cost you a fortune to upgrade that system, or anything in between. If your website is running on the old tech stack, outdated tech stack, you might consider building a new website because it just makes sense. Another point that speaks to replacing a website circles around editability of that website. If you are hiring new employees, it's quite obvious that you have to onboard them, train them how to use that website, how to create landing pages and modify what's there already. Sometimes that sharp learning curve might be too sharp, too steep almost to justify that training. And perhaps it would be better if you just replace the website that is based on a content management system that's so intuitive and so easy to use and tailored specifically for your needs, so that when you get a new employee or a new team member to help you out, they just get on with it. There's no bump on the way that you have to jump over, no hiccup, and there's no delay. They can literally just sit in front of a computer, log in, and do the thing. Might be something to consider if your current website is difficult to edit, to maintain, to manage, to create new users in. It's probably a good idea to replace it. Hopefully this video gave you some idea of what to look at when considering a new website, or just overall scoring, benchmarking your existing website and its viability. So just to sum up, if the problem that you're experiencing with the existing website is around conversion, messaging, maybe user experience, you might not need to invest in a new website, but rather focus your attention on improving what you have. There are plenty of tools to do it, and it's highly likely that the problem actually doesn't lie with the website itself, it extends beyond. Or if the problem circles around performance, technical debt, editing ability, and you see resources being wasted daily on introducing new employees into the system, and it just takes ages to change anything, whereas your marketing campaigns keep evolving daily and the website just can't keep up, then you might be looking into building a new website, or at least changing the backbone of it while leaving the front the same. There are many options to approach this, depends on the budget, timeline, and value, most importantly, behind this. But I hope this give you an idea of where to start at least. And if you have any more questions, and if you find yourself in a difficult position, drop me a comment, let me know. I'll be happy to reply and try to guide you a bit better. But in the meantime, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I wish you a good day, and thank you so much for sticking around. Bye bye. See you in the next one.